Here are 50 most commonly asked SAP S/4HANA implementation-related interview questions, along with detailed answers for SAP interviews. 1. What is SAP S/4HANA, and how does it differ from previous SAP ERP systems? Answer. SAP S/4HANA is an intelligent, next-generation ERP suite built on SAP's in-memory database platform, SAP HANA. Unlike previous SAP ERP systems, S/4HANA offers real-time analytics, simplified data models, and a modern user experience. It leverages in-memory computing to process vast amounts of data faster, enabling businesses to make informed decisions quickly. Additionally, S/4HANA adopts a simplified data model that eliminates redundancies and reduces data footprint, resulting in improved performance and efficiency compared to traditional ERP systems. 2. What are the deployment options available for SAP S/4HANA? Answer. SAP S/4HANA offers various deployment options to meet the diverse needs of organizations. A. On-premise. Organizations can deploy S/4HANA on their own infrastructure, giving them full control over the system and data. B. Cloud. S/4HANA can be deployed in the cloud, allowing for scalability, flexibility, and reduced IT infrastructure costs. C. Hybrid. Organizations can opt for a hybrid deployment, combining on-premise and cloud solutions, to leverage the benefits of both approaches while maintaining data integration and security. 3. What are the key benefits of implementing SAP S/4HANA? Answer. Implementing SAP S/4HANA brings several benefits to organizations. A. Real-time analytics. S/4HANA provides real-time insights into business operations, enabling faster decision-making and improved agility. B. Simplified processes. With its simplified data model and streamlined processes, S/4HANA reduces complexity and enhances efficiency. C. Enhanced user experience. S/4HANA offers a modern, intuitive user interface through SAP Fiori, improving user productivity and satisfaction. D. Scalability. S/4HANA's in-memory computing capabilities support growing business needs, ensuring scalability and performance. E. Innovation. S/4HANA serves as a foundation for innovation, enabling organizations to adopt emerging technologies such as AI, IoT, and blockchain to drive digital transformation. 4. What are the different migration paths for moving to SAP S/4HANA? Answer. Organizations can choose from several migration paths when transitioning to SAP S/4HANA. A. Greenfield implementation involves building a new S/4HANA system from scratch, allowing for a clean slate and optimal utilization of S/4HANA's capabilities. B. Brownfield conversion involves converting an existing SAP ERP system to S/4HANA, preserving data, configurations, and customizations. C. Landscape transformation involves restructuring existing systems and landscapes to align with S/4HANA's architecture and best practices, often necessitating business process reengineering and data migration. 5. How do you approach planning and scoping for an SAP S/4HANA implementation project? Answer. Planning and scoping for an SAP S/4HANA implementation project require a structured approach. A. Define objectives. Clearly define the project objectives, business requirements, and expected outcomes. B. Assess current state. Evaluate existing systems, processes, and data to identify areas for improvement and determine the scope of the project. C. Stakeholder alignment. Engage stakeholders from various business units to ensure alignment and gather input for planning. D. Develop project plan. Create a detailed project plan, including timelines, milestones, resource requirements, and budget estimates. E. Risk management. Identify potential risks and develop mitigation strategies to minimize project delays and disruptions. F. Governance structure. Establish a governance structure with clear roles, responsibilities, and communication channels to ensure project success. 6. What are the key challenges organizations may face during an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: organizations may encounter several challenges during an SAP S/4HANA implementation. A. Data migration, ensuring data quality, consistency, and accuracy during the migration from legacy systems to S/4HANA. B. Process redesign, aligning existing business processes with S/4HANA's best practices and optimizing workflows for efficiency. C. Change management, managing organizational change and overcoming resistance to new ways of working and using technology. D. Integration complexity, integrating S/4HANA with existing systems, applications, and third-party solutions while maintaining data integrity and security. E. Skills gap, addressing the shortage of skilled resources and expertise in SAP S/4HANA implementation, configuration, and support. 7. How do you approach data migration from legacy systems to SAP S/4HANA? Answer: data migration from legacy systems to SAP S/4HANA involves a systematic approach. A. Data assessment, analyze existing data sources, structures, and quality to identify data cleansing and transformation requirements. B. Data mapping, map data fields and attributes from legacy systems to corresponding fields in S/4HANA, considering data model differences and business requirements. C. Data cleansing, cleanse and validate data to ensure accuracy, consistency, and completeness before migration. D. Data extraction and loading, extract data from legacy systems, transform it into the required format, and load it into S/4HANA using tools such as SAP Data Services or SAP LT Replication Server. E. Data verification, perform data validation and reconciliation to verify the integrity and correctness of migrated data, conducting iterative testing and refinement as needed. 8. What is the role of business process reengineering in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: business process reengineering (BPR) is critical in an SAP S/4HANA implementation to maximize the benefits of the new system. A. Process analysis, analyze existing business processes to identify inefficiencies, redundancies, and opportunities for improvement. B. Best practices alignment, align business processes with S/4HANA's standard functionalities and industry best practices to optimize workflows and enhance productivity. C. Process optimization, redesign and streamline business processes to leverage S/4HANA's capabilities effectively, eliminating manual steps and reducing cycle times. D. Change management, engage stakeholders and end users in the BPR process, providing training, support, and communication to facilitate adoption and acceptance of new processes. 9. How do you ensure data quality and integrity during an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: ensuring data quality and integrity is essential for the success of an SAP S/4HANA implementation. A. Data governance, establish data governance policies, standards, and procedures to ensure data quality, consistency, and security throughout the implementation lifecycle. B. Data profiling, profile and analyze existing data to identify quality issues, anomalies, and duplication, prioritizing data cleansing and remediation efforts. C. Data cleansing, cleanse, deduplicate, and standardize data to ensure accuracy, completeness, and consistency before migrating it to S/4HANA. D. Data validation, validate migrated data against source systems and business rules to verify correctness and integrity, conducting data reconciliation and verification as part of testing activities. 10. What is the significance of change management in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: change management plays a critical role in ensuring the success and adoption of SAP S/4HANA. A. Stakeholder engagement, engage stakeholders across the organization to build support, address concerns, and gather feedback throughout the implementation process. B. Communication. Develop a communication plan to keep stakeholders informed about project progress, benefits, and changes, facilitating transparency and building trust. C. Training and support. Provide comprehensive training and support to end users to enhance their skills and confidence in using S/4HANA, addressing knowledge gaps, and promoting effective usage. D. Organizational alignment. Align organizational structures, roles, and responsibilities with the new system and processes to ensure smooth transitions and operational efficiency. E. Monitoring and feedback. Monitor the impact of changes and gather feedback from users to identify areas for improvement, making adjustments as necessary to optimize processes and user experience. 11. How do you approach customizations and enhancements in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Customizations and enhancements in SAP S/4HANA implementation should be approached with caution to minimize complexity and maximize future compatibility. A. Evaluate requirements, assess business requirements, and determine if standard S/4HANA functionalities can meet them without customization. B. Configure before customize. Prioritize configuration over customization to leverage standard functionalities and reduce maintenance efforts. C. Best practices. Follow SAP's best practices and guidelines for customizations to ensure compatibility with future upgrades and releases. D. Impact analysis. Perform impact analysis to understand the implications of customizations on system performance, integration, and scalability. E. Documentation. Document customizations and enhancements thoroughly, including rationale, design decisions, and dependencies, to facilitate maintenance and troubleshooting. 12. What are the key considerations for integrating SAP S/4HANA with other systems and applications? Answer. Integrating SAP S/4HANA with other systems and applications requires careful planning and consideration of various factors. A. Interface design. Design interfaces and integration points based on industry standards and best practices to ensure compatibility and reliability. B. Data mapping. Map data fields and attributes between systems, considering differences in data models, formats, and semantics. C. Middleware selection. Choose appropriate middleware or integration platforms based on integration requirements, scalability, and performance considerations. D. Error handling. Implement robust error handling and exception management mechanisms to handle data validation errors, communication failures, and system downtime. E. Security. Ensure secure communication and data exchange between systems, implementing authentication, authorization, and encryption mechanisms as needed. 13. How do you approach testing in an SAP S/4HANA implementation project? Answer. Testing is a critical aspect of an SAP S/4HANA implementation project and should be approached systematically. A. Test planning. Develop a comprehensive test plan that covers all aspects of the implementation, including functional, integration, regression, and performance testing. B. Test case development. Create detailed test cases based on business requirements, scenarios, and user stories, ensuring adequate coverage of all functionalities and edge cases. C. Test execution. Execute test cases systematically, capturing test results, defects, and issues in a centralized testing tool or system. D. User acceptance testing UAT. Involve end users in UAT to validate system functionality, usability, and performance in real-world scenarios, gathering feedback for refinement. E. Iterative testing. Conduct iterative testing throughout the implementation lifecycle, addressing defects and issues promptly to minimize rework and delays. 14. What is the role of SAP Activate methodology in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. SAP Activate methodology provides a structured approach for implementing SAP S/4HANA projects, incorporating best practices, templates, and tools to accelerate time to value. A. Agile framework. SAP Activate follows an agile framework, enabling iterative, incremental delivery of functionality and value while accommodating changing requirements. B. Phased approach. SAP Activate divides the implementation process into phases such as prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and run, providing guidance and deliverables for each phase. C. Accelerators. SAP Activate offers pre-configured content, templates, and tools to streamline implementation tasks, reducing project duration and complexity. D. Flexibility. SAP Activate methodology is flexible and scalable, allowing organizations to tailor the approach to their specific needs, industry requirements, and project constraints. E. Continuous improvement. SAP Activate promotes continuous improvement and learning, encouraging collaboration, feedback, and knowledge sharing among project team members. 15. How do you ensure compliance and regulatory requirements are met in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Compliance and regulatory requirements are critical considerations in SAP S/4HANA implementation and should be addressed proactively. A. Regulatory analysis. Conduct a thorough analysis of applicable regulations, standards, and industry requirements to understand compliance obligations. B. Configuration. Configure S/4HANA system settings, controls, and processes to align with regulatory requirements and ensure data integrity, security, and privacy. C. Documentation. Document compliance measures, controls, and audit trails within the S/4HANA system, maintaining accurate records for regulatory reporting and audits. D. Monitoring and reporting. Implement monitoring and reporting mechanisms to track compliance status, identify non-compliance issues, and escalate as needed for resolution. E. Training and awareness. Provide training and awareness programs to educate users about compliance requirements, policies, and procedures, promoting a culture of compliance and accountability. 16. What are the key considerations for selecting the right deployment option for SAP S/4HANA on-premise, cloud, or hybrid? Answer. Selecting the right deployment option for SAP S/4HANA depends on factors such as organizational requirements, IT infrastructure, data security, regulatory compliance, scalability, and cost considerations. On-premise deployment offers full control and customization, but requires significant upfront investment in hardware and IT resources. Cloud deployment provides scalability, flexibility, and lower upfront costs, but may have data residency and integration challenges. A hybrid deployment combines the benefits of on-premise and cloud solutions, offering flexibility, scalability, and control over data placement. 17. How do you approach business process mapping and optimization in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Business process mapping and optimization in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Analyzing current processes. Evaluate existing business processes, identify inefficiencies, bottlenecks, and pain points. B. Best practices adoption. Align business processes with SAP S/4HANA best practices and industry standards to leverage out-of-the-box functionalities. C. Process redesign. Redesign and streamline business processes to eliminate redundant steps, automate manual tasks, and optimize workflows. D. Stakeholder involvement. Engage stakeholders and end users in the process mapping and optimization efforts, gathering feedback and buy-in for proposed changes. E. Continuous improvement. Establish a culture of continuous improvement. Monitoring process performance and refining processes based on feedback and data-driven insights. 18. What are the key considerations for managing organizational change during an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Managing organizational change during an SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Leadership support. Secure executive sponsorship and leadership support to champion the change initiative and drive organizational alignment. B. Communication strategy. Develop a comprehensive communication plan to inform stakeholders about the implementation goals, benefits, and impact on roles and responsibilities. C. Training and enablement. Provide role-based training and enablement programs to equip users with the skills and knowledge needed to effectively use S/4HANA. D. Change agents. Identify change agents within the organization to advocate for the implementation, address concerns, and support end users throughout the transition. E. Feedback mechanisms. Establish feedback mechanisms to solicit input from stakeholders, address resistance, and make adjustments to the implementation approach as needed. 19. How do you ensure data security and privacy in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Ensuring data security and privacy in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Role-based access control. Implement role-based access control (RBAC) to restrict access to sensitive data and functionalities based on users' roles and responsibilities. B. Encryption. Encrypt sensitive data at rest and in transit to protect it from unauthorized access and ensure confidentiality. C. Data masking. Use data masking techniques to anonymize or obfuscate sensitive data in non-production environments to minimize the risk of data exposure. D. Auditing and monitoring. Implement auditing and monitoring mechanisms to track user activities, detect anomalies, and identify security breaches or unauthorized access attempts. E. Compliance framework. Adhere to industry standards, regulations, and compliance frameworks, for example, GDPR, CCA, to ensure compliance with data protection and privacy requirements. 20. How do you approach system performance, tuning, and optimization in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. System performance, tuning, and optimization in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Performance monitoring. Monitor system performance metrics such as response times, throughput, and resource utilization to identify performance bottlenecks and areas for improvement. B. Performance testing. Conduct performance testing under different load conditions to assess system scalability, reliability, and responsiveness. C. Database optimization. Optimize database configurations, indexes, and partitioning to improve data access and query performance, leveraging SAP HANA's in-memory computing capabilities. D. Code optimization. Optimize custom code, reports, and queries to minimize resource consumption and improve execution efficiency. E. System landscape design. Design and optimize system landscape architecture with appropriate hardware network configurations and redundancy to ensure high availability and performance. 21. What are the key considerations for post-go-live support and maintenance in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Post-go-live support and maintenance in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Service level agreements. Define service level agreements (SLAs) for incident resolution, service requests, and system availability to set expectations and ensure timely support. B. Support model. Establish a support model with dedicated support teams, escalation procedures, and communication channels to address user inquiries and issues effectively. C. Knowledge transfer. Transfer knowledge from the implementation team to the support team through documentation, training sessions, and shadowing to ensure continuity of support. D. Continuous improvement. continuously monitor system performance, user feedback, and support tickets to identify areas for improvement and implement enhancements or optimizations as needed. E. System health checks. Conduct regular system health checks, performance assessments, and security audits to proactively identify and mitigate risks and maintain system stability. 22. How do you approach user training and adoption in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. User training and adoption in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Training needs analysis. Identify user roles, skill levels, and training requirements through a comprehensive needs analysis. B. Training plan development. Develop a tailored training plan with a mix of classroom training, e-learning modules, job aids, and hands-on workshops to accommodate diverse learning styles and preferences. C. Role-based training. Provide role-based training sessions that focus on specific job functions, processes, and tasks relevant to each user's role in the organization. D. Hands-on practice. Offer opportunities for hands-on practice and simulation exercises in a sandbox or training environment to reinforce learning and build confidence. E. Ongoing support. Provide ongoing support, access to training materials, and user communities to encourage continuous learning and skill development post-implementation. 23. What are the key considerations for managing project risks in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Managing project risks in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Risk identification. Identify potential risks and uncertainties related to project scope, timeline, budget, resources, technology, and external factors. B. Risk assessment. Assess the likelihood and impact of identified risks, prioritizing them based on severity and potential consequences. C. Risk mitigation. Develop risk mitigation strategies and contingency plans to address identified risks, reduce their impact, or prevent them from materializing. D. Risk monitoring. Monitor project risks throughout the implementation lifecycle, tracking changes in risk levels, triggers, and emerging risks, and adjusting mitigation measures accordingly. E. Communication. Communicate risks, mitigation efforts, and status updates to stakeholders regularly, promoting transparency and enabling informed decision-making. 24. What are the key considerations for data archiving and retention in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Data archiving and retention in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Data lifecycle management. Define data lifecycle stages, including creation, usage, retention, and disposal, based on regulatory requirements, business needs, and data sensitivity. B. Archiving strategy. Develop an archiving strategy that specifies which data will be archived, the timing and frequency of archiving, and archiving methods, for example, nearline, offline. C. Data retention policies. Establish data retention policies that comply with legal, regulatory, and industry requirements, specifying how long different types of data should be retained. D. Data access. Ensure that archived data remains accessible and retrievable for business analysis, auditing, and compliance purposes, without compromising system performance. E. Data security. Implement security measures such as encryption, access controls, and audit trails for archived data. 25. How do you approach customization and enhancement management in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Customization and enhancement management in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Requirement analysis. Thoroughly analyze business requirements to determine the necessity and scope of customizations and enhancements. B. Standardization first. Explore standard SAP S/4HANA functionalities and best practices to minimize customizations and leverage built-in capabilities. C. Custom code management. Manage custom code development, review, and testing processes to ensure quality, performance, and compatibility with SAP S/4HANA. D. Enhancement packages. Utilize SAP enhancement packages and modification adjustment tools to implement and manage enhancements efficiently. E. Change control. Implement robust change control and governance processes to manage, approve, and document customizations and enhancements throughout the project lifecycle. 26. What are the key considerations for scalability and future expansion in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Scalability and future expansion in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Scalable architecture. Design a scalable system architecture that can accommodate future growth in terms of users, data volume, and transaction loads without performance degradation. B. Modular design. Adopt a modular design approach, allowing for incremental addition of functionalities, modules, and integrations as business needs evolve. C. Capacity planning. Conduct capacity planning to ensure that hardware, database, and infrastructure resources are sufficient for current needs and scalable for future requirements. D. Future-proofing. Stay informed about SAP innovations, updates, and roadmaps to align the implementation with future technological advancements and business strategies. E. Flexibility. Ensure system flexibility to adapt to changes in business processes, organizational structure, and external business environment, facilitating easy modifications and expansions. 27. How do you ensure effective communication and collaboration among cross-functional teams in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Effective communication and collaboration among cross-functional teams in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Collaboration tools. Utilize collaboration tools, for example, SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, SAP Jam to facilitate communication, document sharing, and real-time discussions among team members. B. Regular meetings. Schedule regular meetings, stand-ups, and review sessions to discuss project progress, issues, and coordination needs across different functional teams. C. Cross-functional workshops. Conduct cross-functional workshops to foster understanding of interdependencies, align goals, and build relationships among team members from different departments. D. Communication plan. Develop a communication plan that outlines communication channels, frequency, and protocols to ensure consistent and transparent communication throughout the project. E. Stakeholder engagement. Engage stakeholders from all relevant functional areas in decision-making processes, ensuring their input and buy-in for key decisions and changes. 28. What are the key considerations for disaster recovery and business continuity in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Disaster recovery and business continuity in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Disaster recovery plan. Develop a comprehensive disaster recovery plan that outlines procedures and actions to recover IT systems and operations in case of a disaster. B. Data backup. Implement regular data backup procedures using off-site storage and cloud solutions to ensure data is recoverable in case of physical or cyber incidents. C. Business continuity strategy. Develop a business continuity strategy to maintain essential business functions during and after a disaster, minimizing downtime and operational disruption. D. Testing and simulation. Regularly test and simulate disaster recovery and business continuity plans to ensure their effectiveness, and to train personnel on their roles during recovery scenarios. E. Continuous monitoring. Monitor IT systems, networks, and data centers continuously for signs of potential threats or failures, enabling prompt detection and response to incidents. 29. What are the key considerations for leveraging AI and machine learning in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: bridging AI and machine learning in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Use case identification. Identify and prioritize use cases where AI and machine learning can add significant value, such as predictive maintenance, intelligent ERP, and automated decision-making. B. Data quality. Ensure high quality, clean, and structured data to train machine learning models effectively, achieving reliable and accurate outcomes. C. Integration. Integrate AI and machine learning capabilities seamlessly with S/4HANA processes, ensuring that AI-driven insights and actions are embedded within business workflows. D. Skills and expertise. Build or acquire necessary skills and expertise within the team to develop, manage, and maintain AI and machine learning applications. E. Ethical considerations. Address ethical considerations, including data privacy, algorithmic bias, and transparency, ensuring that AI and machine learning implementations adhere to ethical standards and regulations. 30. How do you address and manage resistance to change during SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: managing resistance to change during SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Change management strategy. Develop a change management strategy that includes communication, training, support, and feedback mechanisms to engage and support employees throughout the transition. B. Stakeholder engagement. Actively engage stakeholders at all levels, securing their support and addressing their concerns through regular updates and involvement in the decision-making process. C. Training and education. Provide comprehensive training and education programs to help employees understand the benefits and functionalities of the new system, reducing fears and uncertainties. D. Feedback mechanisms. Implement feedback mechanisms to collect employee insights and concerns, enabling adjustments and improvements to the implementation process. E. Visible leadership. Ensure visible leadership and commitment from top management, reinforcing the importance and benefits of the new system, and setting a positive tone for change. 31. How do you approach data migration in SAP S/4HANA implementation project? Answer: data migration in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Data assessment. Assess existing data quality, structure, and compatibility with S/4HANA data models. B. Data cleansing. Cleanse and deduplicate data to ensure accuracy, completeness, and consistency. C. Data mapping. Outsource data fields to target S/4HANA data structures, considering differences in data models and formats. D. Migration tools. Utilize SAP-provided migration tools or third-party solutions to automate data extraction, transformation, and loading processes. E. Validation and testing. Validate migrated data against source systems. Perform reconciliation and conduct end-to-end testing to ensure data integrity and accuracy. 32. What are the key factors to consider when planning for infrastructure and hardware requirements in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: planning for infrastructure and hardware requirements in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. System sizing. Estimate the required computing resources, CPU, memory, storage, based on factors such as user load, data volume, and expected system usage. B. Hardware specifications. Select hardware components and configurations that meet SAP's recommended specifications for optimal performance and scalability. C. High availability. Design a resilient infrastructure with redundancy, failover mechanisms, and disaster recovery capabilities to ensure high availability and business continuity. D. Scalability. Plan for future growth by choosing scalable hardware solutions that can accommodate increasing workloads and data volumes without performance degradation. E. Cloud considerations. Evaluate cloud-based infrastructure options for flexibility, scalability, and cost-effectiveness. Considering factors such as data residency, compliance, and integration requirements. 33. How do you approach user acceptance testing UAT in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. User acceptance testing UAT in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Test planning. Develop a UAT plan outlining test objectives, scenarios, scripts, and acceptance criteria based on business requirements and processes. B. Test environment setup. Configure a dedicated UAT environment that mirrors the production environment, including master data, configurations, and interfaces. C. Test execution. Execute UAT test cases systematically, involving end users to validate system functionality, usability, and performance in real-world scenarios. D. Defect management. Capture and prioritize defects identified during UAT, triage issues, and coordinate with the development team to resolve them promptly. E. Sign off and go live. Obtain user sign-off on UAT results, indicating acceptance of the system for production deployment, after addressing any outstanding issues or concerns. 34. What are the key considerations for data governance and master data management in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Data governance and master data management in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Data governance framework. Establish a data governance framework with policies, standards, and procedures to ensure data quality, integrity, and compliance. B. Master data harmonization. Harmonize master data across systems and business units to eliminate duplicates, inconsistencies, and inaccuracies, ensuring a single source of truth. C. Data quality controls. Implement data quality controls and validation rules to enforce data standards, improve data accuracy, and prevent data entry errors. D. Data ownership and stewardship. Assign data ownership and stewardship responsibilities to individuals or teams accountable for managing and maintaining master data records. E. Integration with MDM solutions. Integrate SAP S/4HANA with master data management MDM solutions to centralize master data governance, workflows, and governance processes. 35. How do you approach change impact analysis and management in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Change impact analysis and management in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Impact assessment. Assess the potential impact of proposed changes on business processes, systems, data, interfaces, and stakeholders. B. Stakeholder engagement. Engage stakeholders to gather input, identify concerns, and communicate changes effectively, fostering buy-in and support. C. Risk evaluation. Evaluate the risks associated with changes, considering factors such as complexity, dependencies, and potential disruptions to operations. D. Change control. Establish change control procedures to manage change requests, approvals, and implementation, ensuring that changes are executed in a controlled manner. E. Communication and training. Communicate change impacts and updates to affected parties, providing training and support to facilitate adoption and mitigate resistance. 36. What are the key considerations for managing system integrations and interfaces in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Managing system integrations and interfaces in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Interface inventory. Document and inventory existing interfaces, identifying dependencies, data flows, and integration points with external systems. B. Interface rationalization. Rationalize interfaces to eliminate redundant or obsolete integrations, consolidating integration points to reduce complexity and maintenance overhead. C. Interface design. Design robust and scalable interfaces using industry-standard protocols and technologies. Ensuring seamless data exchange and interoperability. D. Integration testing. Conduct integration testing to validate interface functionality, data accuracy, and end-to-end process flows. Identifying and resolving integration issues early in the project lifecycle. E. Interface governance. Establish interface governance processes, including version control, change management, and monitoring to maintain the integrity and reliability of integrated systems. 37. What are the key considerations for regulatory compliance and reporting in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Regulatory compliance and reporting in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Regulatory analysis. Analyze regulatory requirements relevant to the organization's industry, geography, and business operations, including financial, tax, and industry-specific regulations. B. Compliance controls. Implement controls and processes to ensure compliance with regulatory requirements, including data protection, financial reporting, and audit trails. C. Reporting framework. Establish a reporting framework that aligns with regulatory reporting standards and guidelines, ensuring accurate and timely submission of regulatory reports. D. Audit trails. Maintain comprehensive audit trails and logs to track data changes, system activities, and user actions, facilitating compliance audits and investigations. E. Continuous monitoring. Monitor regulatory changes and updates, adapting compliance controls and reporting processes accordingly to ensure ongoing compliance with evolving regulations. 38. What are the key considerations for system performance monitoring and optimization in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. System performance monitoring and optimization in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Performance metrics. Define key performance indicators (KPIs) and metrics to measure system performance, including response times, throughput, and resource utilization. B. Monitoring tools. Utilize monitoring tools and dashboards to track system performance in real time, identifying performance bottlenecks, trends, and anomalies. C. Performance tuning. Perform performance tuning activities such as database optimization, code optimization, and infrastructure scaling to improve system responsiveness and efficiency. D. Capacity planning. Conduct capacity planning to anticipate future resource requirements, ensuring that the system can support projected workloads and data growth. E. Continuous improvement. Implement a culture of continuous improvement, regularly reviewing performance metrics, analyzing root causes of performance issues, and implementing optimizations to enhance system performance over time. 39. How do you ensure data security and protection in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Ensuring data security and protection in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Security assessments. Conduct security assessments to identify vulnerabilities and risks in the system, data, and infrastructure. B. Data encryption. Implement data encryption techniques to protect sensitive data, both at rest and in transit, preventing unauthorized access and data breaches. C. Access controls. Establish robust access controls and authentication mechanisms to restrict access to sensitive data and system functions, based on user roles and responsibilities. D. Security patches. Regularly apply security patches and updates to address known vulnerabilities, ensuring that the system remains secure against emerging threats. E. Incident response. Develop and maintain an incident response plan to quickly detect, respond to, and recover from security incidents, minimizing the impact on business operations. 40. What are the key considerations for project governance and risk management in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. project governance and risk management in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve? A. Governance structure. Establish a project governance structure with clearly defined roles, responsibilities, and decision-making authorities. B. Risk identification. Identify potential risks associated with the implementation project, including technical, operational, and strategic risks. C. Risk mitigation. Develop and implement risk mitigation strategies to address identified risks, reducing the likelihood and impact of adverse events. D. Project reporting. Implement a robust reporting mechanism to provide regular updates on project progress, risks, and issues to stakeholders. E. Lessons learned. Conduct lessons learned sessions throughout the project lifecycle to capture insights and improve future project execution and risk management practices. 41. How do you manage project scope and avoid scope creep in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Managing project scope and avoiding scope creep in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve: A. Scope definition. Clearly define and document project scope, objectives, and deliverables at the outset of the project. B. Scope change control. Establish a formal scope change control process to evaluate, approve, and manage changes to the project scope. C. Stakeholder alignment. Ensure alignment among stakeholders regarding project scope and objectives, managing expectations and addressing misalignments promptly. D. Scope monitoring. Monitor project progress against defined scope, identifying deviations and potential scope creep early in the project lifecycle. E. Communication. Maintain open and effective communication with project stakeholders, providing regular updates on scope-related issues and decisions. 42. What are the key considerations for project budgeting and financial management in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Project budgeting and financial management in SAP S/4HANA implementation involve: A. Budget planning. Develop a comprehensive project budget, considering costs related to software licenses, hardware, consulting services, training, and ongoing support. B. Cost control. Implement cost control measures to monitor and manage project expenses, ensuring that the project remains within the allocated budget. C. Financial reporting. Provide regular financial reports to stakeholders, highlighting budget variances, spending trends, and financial risks. D. Contingency planning. Allocate contingency funds to address unexpected costs or challenges, minimizing financial disruptions to the project. E. Cost-benefit analysis. Conduct a cost-benefit analysis to justify project investments, demonstrating the expected return on investment and business value derived from the SAP S/4HANA implementation. 43. How do you ensure user adoption and satisfaction in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Ensuring user adoption and satisfaction in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves: A. User involvement. Involve users early and throughout the project, soliciting their input and feedback on system design, functionality, and usability. B. Training and support. Provide comprehensive training and support programs to equip users with the necessary skills and knowledge to effectively use the new system. C. User experience design. Focus on user experience design to create an intuitive and user-friendly interface, improving usability and satisfaction. D. Feedback mechanisms. Implement mechanisms to collect user feedback post-implementation, identifying areas for improvement and addressing user concerns promptly. E. Change champions. Identify and empower change champions within the organization to advocate for the new system, assist their peers, and foster positive attitudes towards the change. 44. What are the key considerations for managing vendor relationships in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: managing vendor relationships in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Vendor selection. Conduct a thorough vendor selection process, evaluating potential vendors based on their expertise, experience, and alignment with project requirements. B. Contract management. Negotiate and manage contracts with vendors, clearly defining terms, deliverables, timelines, and performance expectations. C. Vendor collaboration. Foster a collaborative relationship with vendors, involving them as partners in the implementation process, sharing information, and working together to overcome challenges. D. Performance monitoring. Monitor vendor performance against contractual obligations, providing feedback and addressing performance issues promptly. E. Relationship management. Maintain positive and productive relationships with vendors, ensuring open communication and mutual respect, which are critical for project success. 45. How do you address data migration challenges in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: addressing data migration challenges in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Data assessment. Conduct a thorough assessment of existing data to identify quality issues, redundancies, and migration priorities. B. Data cleansing. Implement data cleansing processes to correct inaccuracies, remove duplicates, and enhance data quality before migration. C. Migration strategy. Develop a detailed data migration strategy, outlining the approach, tools, and resources required for effective data transfer. D. Data validation. Perform rigorous data validation post-migration to ensure accuracy and completeness of the migrated data. E. Stakeholder engagement. Engage stakeholders throughout the data migration process, ensuring transparency and addressing concerns to minimize resistance and enhance cooperation. 46. How do you manage change during SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: managing change during SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Change management strategy. Develop a comprehensive change management strategy, focusing on communication, training, and support to facilitate a smooth transition. B. Communication plan. Implement a detailed communication plan to keep all stakeholders informed about the project progress, changes, and expected impacts. C. Training programs. Design and deliver effective training programs, tailored to the needs of different user groups, ensuring they are well prepared for the new system. D. Stakeholder engagement. Engage stakeholders continuously, addressing their concerns and leveraging their insights to improve the implementation process. E. Monitoring and feedback. Monitor the impact of changes and gather feedback to continuously refine and improve the change management approach. 47. What are the key considerations for quality assurance in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: quality assurance in SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Quality planning. Establish a comprehensive quality assurance plan that covers all phases of the implementation, from design through post-go-live support. B. Testing strategy. Develop a robust testing strategy that includes unit testing, integration testing, user acceptance testing, and performance testing to ensure the system meets all requirements and performs optimally. C. Issue resolution. Implement a systematic approach to identify, track, and resolve issues promptly, maintaining high standards of quality throughout the project. D. Continuous improvement. Foster a culture of continuous improvement, encouraging feedback and implementing lessons learned to enhance the quality of the implementation. E. Compliance and standards. Ensure compliance with industry standards and best practices, maintaining the integrity and reliability of the system. 48. How do you handle legacy system integration in SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer: Handling legacy system integration in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Integration assessment. Conduct an integration assessment to identify and evaluate the existing legacy systems that need to be integrated with SAP S/4HANA. B. Integration architecture. Design an integration architecture that supports seamless data flow and process synchronization between SAP S/4HANA and legacy systems. C. Middleware solutions. Utilize appropriate middleware solutions to facilitate integration, such as SAP process orchestration or third-party integration platforms. D. Data consistency. Ensure data consistency across systems. Implementing data synchronization mechanisms to maintain data integrity. E. Testing and validation. Conduct thorough testing and validation to ensure that the integration meets functional and performance requirements, addressing any issues that arise during the integration process. 49. What strategies can you employ to optimize performance in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Optimizing performance in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involves A. Performance testing. Conduct comprehensive performance testing to identify bottlenecks and optimize system performance. B. System tuning. Perform system tuning based on testing results, adjusting configurations and resources to improve performance. C. Best practices. Implement best practices for system design and configuration, such as leveraging the advanced capabilities of SAP HANA for data processing and analytics. D. Scalability planning. Plan for system scalability to accommodate future growth and increased demand, ensuring the system can handle additional load without performance degradation. E. Continuous monitoring. Implement continuous monitoring tools to track system performance and quickly address any issues that may impact user experience or system stability. 50. What are the best practices for documentation and knowledge transfer in an SAP S/4HANA implementation? Answer. Best practices for documentation and knowledge transfer in an SAP S/4HANA implementation involve A. Comprehensive documentation. Create comprehensive documentation of the implementation process, system configurations, and operational procedures, ensuring it is accessible and understandable to all relevant parties. B. Knowledge sharing sessions. Organize knowledge sharing sessions and workshops to transfer knowledge from consultants to in-house staff, enhancing their understanding and ability to maintain and operate the system. C. User manuals and training materials. Develop user manuals and training materials that are clear, concise, and tailored to the needs of different user groups. D. Continuity planning. Implement continuity planning to ensure that knowledge is not lost when key personnel leave the project, maintaining continuity and expertise. E. Regular updates. Regularly update documentation and training materials to reflect system changes, upgrades, and enhancements, keeping them relevant and useful. The 50 questions and answers provided cover a comprehensive range of topics essential for implementing SAP S/4HANA, focusing on practical and strategic aspects. They encompass key areas such as system configuration, data migration, user training, performance optimization, and project management. The answers detail best practices for tackling common challenges encountered during an SAP S/4HANA implementation, including managing changes, ensuring data security, handling legacy system integration, and promoting user adoption. This set serves as a detailed guide for professionals involved in planning, executing, and managing the transition to SAP S/4HANA, ensuring a successful and efficient rollout of the system. For more exciting tips, tricks, and more importantly, for valuable insights of interviews, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. It has a lot of valuable information about various insights of interviews. It has a wide range of real-world portfolio projects of various technologies for interviews, and it Has wide range of most asked interview questions and answers of various technologies like data science, SAP, AWS, DevOps, and full-stack web development, and more. That will be useful during interviews. It has a wide range of most asked interview questions and answers, and real-world portfolio projects of various technologies for freshers. For 2 to 3 years, experienced candidates, and for 5 or above years, experienced candidates to test their skills by knowing most asked interview questions and make themselves ready for interviews.